Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is late in the evening, and for some, it's in the midnight hour. But hey, you asked for more entertainment, and damn it, we're gonna give the people what they want. So welcome to another edition, a late night edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. He is the one and only Mizzle. I am Dub, and no, folks, we did not plan this. We just coincidentally are both wearing superhero T-shirts.
Gotta wear the king, man. Gotta have the king.
He goes the route of Marvel. I go with the alien from Krypton, as he likes to call him, the cheat code. But nonetheless,
how is he not a cheat code? There's only a green piece of matter that can make him weak, and the sunshine makes him strong. Don't get me wrong, Superman is a unique character, but his powers are,
he holds back, and only the Bat and Diana can make him go ape shit crazy.
Yeah.
Only those two can tell him, Kal-El, release, don't hold back.
Yes.
Just ask Darkseid about feeling the full wrath of one Kal-El. Anyhow, this is not a comic book show, even though we can do a damn comic show, but
all day.
But this is about sports, of course, and wasn't the most entertaining Monday night game, but it was a very close Monday night game. But
the Chiefs, you can definitely tell they've been playing a lot of football these past few years. It's the body is just, we know that with anything. Just if you continue, winning is a good thing. I'm not saying winning is not a bad thing, because that's what you get paid to do. You get paid to win, but it takes toll. You saw that with our Giants. We were in the playoffs or in the World Series, consistent. You can see that with LeBron. His body wears down. He's been in the NBA Finals. Was this not the first time last year he was not part of the finals?
The first time in a long time, yeah. He made what? 8 straight appearances from 2000, basically the 3 straight that he went to with Miami, until the last one he went to with Cleveland. The last one the Warriors won with KD.
Yeah.
You
could consider the bubble champ.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we can go back to Kobe, all those tax minutes he played in the playoffs, and at the end of his career, his body started to fail him.
Yeah, it just happens. But you're looking at the Chiefs right now. I believe they're just worn out just from football, and everything is starting to fall into place. Plus the hangover. Your team is, kudos to your team this weekend. They took care of it. They should. But
we'll get into that later. But if you
hangover, when
you lose a Super Bowl,
yes, even my team, 2002, we ain't been right since, yes.
But it may be starting to turn the corner right now at this particular moment in time.
We'll get that too.
And we'll get into that also.
Definitely.
But especially in the NFL, the window to win a Super Bowl is short.
Yes.
Very, very short. Mainly because, first off, it is hard to keep a nucleus together, because you always want to try to develop your team through the draft.
Correct.
You do.
That's what any sport.
And the thing is, most of your jewels, most of your jewels that you find are normally in the later rounds, 3rd, 4th, 6th round pick. For example, when I said yesterday, I think my team has finally found their running back. Oh, by the way, he's a 6th round draft pick from Louisiana Lafayette in Elijah Mitchell. But we'll get into that later on.
We watched that kid though, so we already knew that he was going to be a dynamic kid. Whoever drafted him and put him in the right system, he was going to be dynamic. You knew that was what you saw Sunday. And we'll save that, because I got some. I'm honestly, ladies and gentlemen, one of the rare times that you will see me give credit to Kyle Shanahan and the Niners. We'll get into that in a minute.
But the window is so slim to none to try and win. If you have the chance to win, you win now. Which is why
I think the Rams are going all in right now.
Les Need is putting all the chips in
Yes.
right now.
But the Rams are almost like the Patriots. They don't need draft picks. We'll do 1 or 2 picks in the draft. We'll keep what we got, what we drafted. We'll sprinkle in a few little free agents here, and we'll mold it together.
But in the case of the Rams, they have to do it now because you have all this money that you gave to Aaron Donald.
Yes.
You have all this money that you gave to Jalen Ramsey.
Yes.
And then you took on Matt Stafford's contract.
Yes.
So you have these salaries tied to these 3 players. And granted, they're very all-important players.
Of course.
One's your quarterback, one is your defense in the middle, and one is your, defense on the end.
Yeah.
But all these pieces around can leave, and that's how you can go from contender to now starting over real quick.
Without draft capital, because you traded all the way.
Without draft capital.
That's the downside of doing that.
And I think the Rams are either 7 or 8 years. They will not have a first round draft pick.
It's true. Because
with all those trades that they made, with the Stafford trade, with this trade, with that trade. Now, bleeding silver and black, firsthand how much of a force Von Miller is, to which he is now going to wear his college jersey that he wore at A&M, number 40, which he asked the family of the late, great Hall of Famer, Crazy Legs Hirsch, if he had permission to wear number 40. The Hirsch family gave him permission, said go ahead and do so. So Von Miller will wear his A&M Aggies jersey. And I say it without hesitation. And I mean, the Denver Broncos historically have had some great defensive players.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that the great Willie Brown originally was a Bronco before Al Davis said, "You're coming with me."
Oh yeah.
Him, Steve Atwater, Tyrone Braxton, Dennis Smith, Carl Mecklenburg, Sammy Winder.
Didn't start with the Raiders.
No, he was a Patriot. But I say without question, Von Miller is the greatest defensive player in the history of the Denver Broncos, bar none. That was John Elway's first ever draft pick.
Yeah.
That's the one draft pick he got right, because his quarterback drafting has not gone right, but they always say that a GM is tied to his very first draft pick, and John Elway will forever be tied to Von Miller. I mean, Von Miller single-handedly won Super Bowl 50 against the Panthers, and of course, you had to remind me of the clip that you played today where Cam Newton decided
that was a business decision,
and ain't been the same since. But
that was the wrong time to make that business decision. If that was regular season, I understand that business decision. I'm not risking getting hurt in the regular season, but brother, this is the last game of the year. You have ample time.
This is a chance to get a ring on this finger. To get a ring on this finger.
And I believe on that drive, they had the opportunity to take the lead or do something that drive.
They were only down. The score was 16-10.
Right. Didn't we win the Super Bowl at my auntie house?
Yes, we did. In Antioch, yes, we did. And you were like, damn it. They untied my Raiders and Lombardies. He was like, damn this all.
I'm just going to go ahead and sip some of that good old rock on that one.
But it's not to say, but I mean, getting back to, the tonight's game, it's just the Chiefs just look lethargic.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Because granted, the Giants are depleted with injuries, have every right to just shut the season down, but they definitely played with some effort. They played with some heart. Unfortunately, they made some bad decisions. I mean, they forced a couple of turnovers, and like I said, the game was in reach for them to win. They just fell 3 points short. But I mean, you want to talk about a gauntlet that the Chiefs are about to run these next few games? It is not. They have the hardest remaining schedule.
They can easily go 1-3.
They have the hardest remaining schedule.
What, close to
all the teams.
70? Is it close to 70 or is it 65?
68. The winning percentage of the percentage of the schedule that they're playing, the winning percentage is a 6.86, almost 70%.
You said 686?
68, basically 68.5%.
What do they teach you in math? If it's above 5, you round up. That's 69%. Yep. That's close to 70.
That's very close to 70.
But
I mean,
we know the rule, brother. We've been watching football. All the analysts in the world can sit here and pick a game and do all this and third. Analytics, points this, what's that in the third. You put your pads on and you take yourself out there and you play the game of football.
You play the game, exactly. But I mean, here's the gauntlet that the Chiefs are about to run. You have the 7-1 Packers and Aaron Rodgers coming to your house in Arrowhead this upcoming Sunday.
And
then on Sunday night, you come to the Death Star, and you're playing the team that is leading your division by way of the New England Patriots, helping out your Raiders by beating the Chargers this past Sunday.
And you know I threw up in my mouth rooting for the Patriots this weekend.
I know you did.
So
I know you having to root for the hoodie. I know you did. Then after that, you play the team that's finally playing up to their talent in the Cowboys.
Without Dak, they played well without Dak. Everybody counted that game out without Dak because they don't have Dak. What'd he say? What did Rush say? Hold
my beer, says Cooper Rush. But
these guys with the name Cooper? Cooper Cup? No. Cooper Rush? I mean, like, what is it? If I do happen to should I name him Cooper?
Chances are he might go to the NFL.
Or whatever would he play?
Cooper Rush showed tremendous poise, but I think for me, the play of the game for the Cowboys was the pass to Zeke Elliott heading towards the goal line, where that looked like Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott, get out of my way. I'm getting the first down.
Oh, yeah, the determination was there. But yeah, I also want to say I did like him at Alabama. I thought he was going to be what we needed. He showed flashes. I guess he just got tired of being there. But that catch by Amari Cooper, the concentration.
Oh boy.
But you knew that's what Amari does. He did that. Amari is one of the best route runners.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, they run routes. And it's I will never say anything bad about Amari, but when he was in Oakland, you saw he quit. Yes, I said Oakland because he never played in Vegas. He played in Oakland. He quit on Oakland. He wanted out of Oakland. Cool. The culture probably wasn't right for him anyway, but that catch, wonderful. Wonderful.
Then after that, you have the Broncos. Always a struggle playing the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, you play the Raiders again. And the Raiders team came to your house last year and put up a 40-burger in Arrowhead, which is something teams don't do.
And here's the thing. A lot of people forget. They don't mention that the Raiders gave them their first L.
That is true.
Arrowhead.
That is true.
Didn't to forget, but now who just came to Arrowhead and won recently before the Giants?
Well, the Chargers were the last team to win an Arrowhead this season so far.
Look at that praise. Look at the praise. I know we're the redhead stepchild of the league, but damn it, when we do something, I would like for y'all to talk about it. I know it's last year, but bring it into the next year. The Raiders came into Arrowhead and did exactly what the Chargers did first.
No, the Chargers didn't put up 40. The Raiders put up a 40-burger. Easily could have put up 50 if they wanted to. But, that's end of the story. But I mean, not to mention this, again, let me say this again. The Raiders are in first place in the AFC West, and they're the number 2 seed behind the Titans in the AFC.
Who just could be Henry?
Yeah. Who just lost the MVP of the league, in my opinion.
They just lost 90% of their offense.
Yes. Who just happened to he finishes this season 33 yards short of 1,000. He was already at 973 rushing
in week 8.
In week 8, folks.
Half the season. Well, I consider it still half the season because I know we got 17 games, but that's still somewhat half the season. That lets you know, excuse me, let me rephrase my percentage of what the offense is. He's 95% of the offense. They're going to put 8 in the box still. They're going to put 8 in the box. They're going to threaten Tannehill to beat him. And Julio Jones is not Julio Jones anymore. He's starting to decline. He's not the same.
And AJ Brown's going to get double teamed.
Yeah, and so I don't, like I say, I don't wish injury on anybody, on any team, because I always want to play you at your best. But right now, this is the best time for the Raiders. This is the best time. The only scary part was that I was worried about the division was the Chiefs. And I'm still worried about the Chargers because they could be deadly at any moment.
Yes, they can.
But, excuse me. But I just this is our time. But let's get back on subject. Whew.
Well, but I mean, there's a chance by the end of week 9, your Raiders could be the number 1 seed because the Titans just happen to have to go to Inglewood and play that potent offense that is Matt Stafford and the Rams. And just, by the way, I'm going to have Leonard Floyd on one side, Von Miller on the other. And by the way, there's this guy that wears number 99 that went to Pittsburgh University in the middle by the name of Aaron Donald.
So what you're trying to say is that there's a chance.
Oh, there is a chance.
I mean, I know there's always a chance. But what you're sitting here telling me, in a couple of weeks, if my silver and black take care of business and do what they need to do, when those Derrick Henry-less Titans go there, we can change next week. It can easily change next week.
Yes.
I mean, they're 6-2. We're 5-2, but they can be 6-3.
And you'll be 6-2. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get ahead. 1 week at a time. You always are 1-0 or 0-0 at the end of the week.
Yes.
I get it. But put Derek Carr in bubble wrap right now.
Well, not only that, you also get your all-world tight end back, and you get your running back healthy to go in to East Rutherford. That will definitely help the load for who is playing at an MVP caliber level. But like you've been begging and calling and wanting for, you wanted to see the Fresno State version of DC4, and you have definitely got it the last 2 weeks because he has slinged the ball.
Let that man cook. Hey, let that man cook. Hey, brother, me and you watched a game together where he threw for 520 yards in a game.
In a game, yes.
I mean, it seems like it's nothing now, but when Derek did it, you wasn't seeing quarterbacks throw over 500 yards in a college game like that. Like now we see it like it's just, he threw for 500 yards? Okay. But when Derek did it, it was something different. Let that man operate. He's a master now at knowing you're not fooling him no more. That means in his 8 years that he's been seeing defense, he's studied because he's checking and the checks are working. He's not trying to do the horn.
Well,
looking like baby Peyton out there. He's looking like baby Peyton out there.
As it was in the broadcast against the Eagles, as it was mentioned, and they asked him, or he was asked, how do you feel about Greg Olsen returning to call the plays and be the OC? Carr's like, let him come back. Yes. Yes. And as you can see, Ole, as he is affectionately called by the team, Ole has, in a sense, given him free reign to be like, okay, it's your offense. Run it how you see it, run it how you want it. But not only that, you and some other Raider fans that we know kept talking about throw the ball deep and let Ruggs go get it. And what he's been doing lately, he's been throwing the ball deep and letting 11 go and go get it. Because again, there's football speed, and then there's world-class speed.
You can't teach that.
You cannot, as good as football speed is,
you can't teach world-class speed.
You can't teach, nor can you stop world-class speed.
Now, what we're seeing now is what Patrick Mahomes was doing with Tyreek Hill. Throw the ball as far and as hard as you can, and let 4-2 just go run under it.
Yeah, let 4-2 flat go get under it, because you ain't.
I mean, not to sit here and just kind of, boop, boop, but he may not have 4-2 speed. But when that bell rang at Fairfield High to go back to class after lunch, and everybody knew that I had the ball with one play left, who was I throwing the ball to? And what was I doing throwing that ball? I threw it as far as I could and as hard as I could, because I knew there was a person by the name of Marquise McDonald. Shout out to the Cuzzo and the Jets.
Huge win.
Huge win.
Pat White, hello.
Say, let me introduce my name again. What was his name?
Pat White, 400 plus yards. How do you do?
And he caught a touchdown. And he caught a touchdown. Shout out to my brother Scoopy. And but throw the ball.
I'm sorry, Mike White. I'm sorry, I got the name wrong. Mike White. I beg your pardon.
What do I tell you? What did I tell you?
Look here. I got the last name right.
Look here. Get your shit together.
Well, he got right throwing for the ball. He got right throwing for 405 yards.
Yes. The man was looking spectacular. But just to get back to what you said about world-class speed, Tyreek Hill has world-class speed. Henry Ruggs has world-class speed. Not even, put it this, Jerry Rice didn't have world-class speed, but they threw the ball far and hard, and Jerry ran and got it. But his bread and butter was a slant route.
And the inventor of Yak, yards after catch.
I mean, he ain't Jesus the cleats for nothing, right?
That is true too. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the rundown of what happened in Week 8.
Let's go.
Here we go. Thursday night, the Packers ended the Cardinals' winning streak, and thus the 72 Dolphins popped their champagne, which he did say he had the Packers in a close win, 24-21. And AJ Green, you got to turn around and look for the ball in the end zone.
I had him winning by 3. I can't remember what I called the actual score or whatever it was.
You said 27-24, so you were off by a couple, to which it possibly would have done that if it went to overtime. The Panthers beat the Falcons 19-13 as
that was a good game too.
Mr. Hubbard found the end zone.
I watched a little bit of that one too. That was a good game too.
Yeah, and poor Matt Ryan's right hand or left hand got stepped on and got a little bit of bloody.
Just a little crimson was on the field.
Little crimson pass
on the field. Little crimson.
Bills took care of the Dolphins 26-11, and the Bills might be the quietest 5-2 team that nobody talks about in the NFL. They're still good.
Last year, though, that was last year. They was quiet. They was just doing it. It was just Josh Allen just making spectacular plays every freaking week. They're just staying the course.
It was a dog find the dog pound, but the Steelers by the Browns 15-10.
What a catch by that tight end in the end zone. Talk about concentration.
Yeah, because not many quarterbacks would even dare make that throw, but Ben slung it in there.
Well, he already showed that he can make that throw. He showed you in the Super Bowl.
And Santonio Holmes introduced us all to toe drag swag with that catch.
For sure.
I don't know many quarterbacks that could make that throw.
I agree.
In that situation in a stage because
Ben is one. Aaron Rodgers for sure. Maybe Matthew Stafford, but I don't know. But Big Ben for sure, because he didn't show it on multiple occasions. And it doesn't take much for Aaron Rodgers to throw a football. I think you can chop off one of his legs and you'll still throw
it. That's what I'm saying. Aaron Rodgers is probably the only guy that can throw it off his back foot and still make it accurate and still probably hit the target, which would be the back pylon. Reminds me of somebody else throwing the ball off his back leg. Damn you.
Wait. Even though I don't like him, who?
Ace hole. And the Lions it can only get better for them. But the Eagles took a thrash Lions.
I think the Eagles left out of Vegas a little upset. They think they should have won that game, and they showed you 44 points wise that we ain't no joke. And big play Slay is always around the ball.
And found the end zone returning to Detroit. In overtime, the Titans get by the Colts 34-31, and Carson Wentz. You cannot. And damn it, he gets the Scott Mitchell Award for this week with his dang left-handed interception throw in overtime.
That is the first, ladies and gentlemen. We have announced the award that me and my brother have been giving out since the 10th grade. Yeah. If you make an idiot pass or like some form of an idiot play, just look up Scott Mitchell and you will understand why we just gave this the Scott Mitchell Award. Yeah.
Carson Wentz gets this week's Scott Mitchell Award.
Yes.
You cannot throw a left-handed interception deep in your own end zone in overtime. No. You just can't do that. No.
Take the sack. Just take the sack.
Or throw the ball away. Throw the ball away.
Well, I think he tried with his left hand. It ain't his dominant hand.
Spike the ball.
Whatever.
Or as Michelangelo would say, ninja kick the damn rabbit. Do something.
Ninja kick the rabbit.
But unfortunately for the Titans, they got the win, but it cost them their all-world running back, Derrick Henry. He's out for the season as he had surgery on his foot.
Fantasy is now messed up.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that. He was my point getter.
Yeah. I have him in one of my leagues too.
95% of the offense.
Gone. As previously mentioned, the Bengals take a not so good L in East Rutherford, but give the Jets credit. They play inspired.
Wait, hold on. That was a good L for this Raider fan.
No, well, okay. If we're speaking on what it does for certain teams that certain people root for, yes, it was a good L.
And again, shout out to Marquise McDonald for being the only Jets fan that I know ever. I don't know, not a nair nutter.
I know two. Him and a former coworker of mine that actually moved back to New Jersey. So
not a nair nutter. I don't know not a nair nutter.
Only two Jets fans I know.
Only know one. So,
but the Jets used a 17-point fourth quarter to come back. The Bengals were up 11. The Bengals were up 31-20. Seemingly had the game in hand, and Mike White once again said, "Hold my beer."
Well, again, if you want to get technical, the first few weeks it was a little ugly for the Jets, but you start to see that whatever Salah is preaching is starting to it's getting there, because their games recently, few heartbreakers, and you're dealing with a rookie quarterback, so you're going to go with your growing pains. Look at the Jaguars, and the Jaguars' record does not show how they play on the field, because Trevor Lawrence is going to be something. I guarantee you. Just wait till Ian team get back next year.
Like I said, let him get his running back back. Let him get his running back back. And again, and that's no disrespect, because James Robinson is a baller also.
Oh yeah, but Ian team is it's almost like you're going to see what's going on with Burrow and Chase.
Yes.
That right there.
Yes.
And that's going to start being the future of the NFL. It ain't going to be no more draft the quarterback, get the receiver, blah, 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 or the lineman. No, it's going to be like, who is his college person? Who is he connected with? Hurst. Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts is going to be a beast too. Don't sleep on that. Once they get that connection and they start to get what the coach is trying to preach, you're going to see it. But you might start to see a lot of college.
You might see a lot of college champs becoming teammates in the end. I'll say this. If the Green Bay Packers are that stupid enough and let number 17 leave, don't think number 4 is not going to go after 17.
Brother, I know we got Henry Ruggs. I know we got Brian Edwards. I know we got Hunter Renfro. I know we got Foster Monroe, this, that, and the third. But if 17 want to come I know, but I'm just gonna say, when it come fucking around with DC, I see back shoulders all day. Back shoulders. Oh, goal line, we're good. I mean, but see, here's the thing though. I may be happy with that, but I like the nucleus we got now. And
I agree.
I love what we're doing with Darren Waller. You know, it's Darren Waller's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't care what anybody says. You can sit here and say you got all this, that, and the third outside. But yeah, we do that. But you can't guard that man with a linebacker. They put corners on him. They put safeties on him. Good luck. It's going to be a fun day guarding Darren Waller. If Darren Waller don't get numbers, it's because you decide to triple team him and everybody else is eating. Hunter Renfrow gonna eat whatever. I don't give a damn who's guarding Hunter Renfrow. Jalen Ramsey got work in preseason. I know it was preseason, but he still got worked. Hunter Renfrow don't play around.
That film was ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you have not seen the film, YouTube it.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
YouTube it.
And then after you just YouTube that, just YouTube Hunter Renfrow. And yet again, I've seen Hunter Renfrow a lot because he went to Clemson. I'm a Florida State Seminole fan. I know about this. Like I said.
Ask Alabama and Nick Saban about Hunter Renfrow. He was a problem in those 2 championship games that they played.
Deshaun Watson about Hunter Renfrow. Okay. They will tell you all Clemson on that championship, we don't get there without Hunter.
Rams beat the Texans 38-22 as Matthew Stafford continues to be Matthew Stafford in the offense. And of course, as already previously mentioned, even though he regurgitated, the Patriots did do his Raiders a favor and beat the Chargers 27-24. Seahawks beat the Jags 31-7. The Broncos beat the team without a mascot 17-10. And for some unstrange reason, the regular season Saints continue to give Brady fits since he has done.
No matter who's the quarterback, what the defense, you know what?
I said, I did not know Trevor Siemian was still in the NFL. Trevor Siemian?
When I knew Winston went down, but when you text me Trevor Siemian, I'm like, who? I know the name. I know the name, but when you who? Right. That's their backup. Well, what did I say? I'm gonna say this. If Trevor Siemian does like wonderful the rest of the year, I am calling Sean Payton the quarterback guru. I mean, he should already be called that. He should already be called that already because he made Tony Romo good.
Yes, he did.
He made Drew Brees good. Won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Taysom Hill looks good when they let him pass.
Yes.
Jameis Winston has not, before an injury, has not had as many turnovers in a year yet. So can you imagine if he could have played the whole year? By this time, week 8, Jameis Winston at least got about 12 interceptions.
And not to mention, he revitalized Teddy Bridgewater's career.
I was getting to TDB yet. See, this is why we do this show. He can speak for me knowing what I'm going to say as I was getting to it. But yes, and also Teddy Bridgewater. So we already they're supposed to be Gruden is the guru. We already know how I feel about Gruden right about now. But I think we should give Sean Payton his flowers for his mastery with how he looks like he can put any quarterback in a situation. Because remember what the question was with Belichick. Anybody that quarterback for Belichick? Was it the quarterback or was it the system? Well, Tom Brady has gone off and won a Super Bowl. Brissett, decent. So I'm going to go system, but it's more, I think whatever Sean Payton is dishing out, these quarterbacks and this whole offense that he puts together, it works. I would love to see what Cam Newton can do. I know they're not going to sign Cam Newton. They're going to probably run with Simeon, and then Hill is coming off back to concussions, I believe. So he'll be about a couple of weeks away. So, but I will, just as a fan per se of Cam Newton, besides the Super Bowl where he decided to make a business decision, I would love to see what Sean Payton can do with Cam Newton. Just as a fan.
If the season wasn't halfway through, I definitely wouldn't. I definitely would entertain the situation, because I mean, Cam still has something there, but the main thing for me with Cam Newton is your heart in it? Do you want to play football?
That too, and can you really throw the ball down the field?
Yeah.
No flashes when you were with the Patriots. You do a little couple of deep passes and stuff like that, but yes, football is all about balance and everything, but every once in a while, you got to put that target down the field with a deep pass, which he did, but you got to be a little more consistent with it.
You do. As mentioned, the Cowboys beat the Vikings 20-16, and dadgummit, my football team won a game.
All right now. Okay. All right now, the floor is yours. Now, let me just ask this now. I'm going to be the person to ask the questions now. This is your set right now. So, watching the game, as me and you were both texting through the game, and we were and shout out to Debo, because he was also part of that too. Jimmy G looked okay. Fair statement.
He played decent. I mean,
fair. Still. Let me say, when I say fair statement, yes, he got the rushing touchdowns, but I'm more talking about the passing game. There's more passing, because we sat here and said some passes were bad, but I'm gonna say more of the game was your receivers dropped a lot of passes.
Some of it been that close. A lot of it was drop passes. He actually threw a deep ball, and the receiver actually caught it, which was actually quite shocking.
Well, Debo gets the ball. Well, I can't say that per se, because he was some of the reason why there was a lot of drops. But he will go. He
will go up and fight for the 50-50 ball. That goes without saying, and he just continues to have a phenomenal season. I mean, he's already close to the 1,000-yard mark. Already, he's well over 100 yards receiving. The screen pass that almost was a touchdown on a third down and long was a tremendous play. But I think the reason why Garoppolo was more effective in the pass game was because they ran the football. Like I said on my post, I said, I think we have found a running back. As you know, I was extremely pissed off. We stopped giving Elijah Mitchell the ball against the Colts last Sunday night. I was extremely irritated, and I think it was a fair assessment to say that for the first time all year long, Kyle Shanahan actually found a rhythm in his play calling, which we've all been.
He stuck. That's what I was about to get at. I was more like, oh my goodness, are they sticking to the running game? Wait, and they're letting your quarterback run the ball.
The second slowest 2 touchdown runs you will ever see by Jimmy Garoppolo. I said the second slowest. Okay. Peyton Manning is still the slow. Well, him and Tom Brady are still the slowest touchdown runs you'll ever see in a game. Garoppolo is number 2. Because I'm just saying, it's like, Jimmy, are you in the end zone yet? Oh, he's finally in the end zone. Okay.
I was like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Right. It's like, can I blitz the quarterback now? But I mean, he was 17-28, 322 yards, averaged 11.5 yards a pass. Did what he had to do. But again, Elijah Mitchell, 18 carries for a $137 career high, averaging 7.6 yards a rush. And that touchdown to where the whole damn offensive line just pushed him in. He just was not going to be denied. But I mean, he just ran hard. And as shout out to our good friend Steve Dogan, friend of the program and a guest on the show.
Yes.
He said he kind of reminds him of Emmett just as far as his vision on how he can see the field, because he was hitting the hole hard. And I mean, of course, we all know the Bears notoriously are known for defense, and the Bears had a hard time stopping the run. But credit also must be given where credit is due. Justin Fields show why there is possibilities that you should be excited if you're a Bears fan. And that fourth down touchdown
yeah. Hey, I hit you with the Ric Flair on that play.
Yeah.
Woo! He did.
You're just like, because I mean,
you had him dead right. You had him.
Both had a shot at him, couldn't get him. Armstead had a shot at him, couldn't get him. DJ Jones had a shot to get him, couldn't get him. And I'm thinking right then and there, I said, you know what? The Bears might win this game just because of
that play.
That was my initial thought. I'm like, the Niners are about to give this one away.
Because of that play.
Yeah. And then Kyrie Santos has been reliable all year, misses the extra point.
I thought y'all missed extra point was going to cost you that game. And I said that. So I texted
you did. And I mean, kickers are funny because in the case of Joey Sly, and this has been his thing, is the long distance field goals he has no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's 40 and under that gives him fits.
Yeah, fact. But what have I told you about the new rule? I'm like, I love that they pushed the extra point back because it's not automatic now. It is like, can you imagine scoring a touchdown, right? And you got to make that extra point just to get into overtime. And that some bitch just go to the damn right.
Yeah. Wide left, wide right, hooks it.
You sitting there looking like
hit the upright. But still, one of the greatest oh wow moments is still the Saints and Jaguars back in 2003. The 5,001 laterals. They scored a touchdown. And John Carney, who had a fantastic career with the Chargers and the Saints, had a lot of game winners with the Chargers. And it was one of Chris Berman's favorite sayings. And he missed the extra point, and the Saints missed the playoffs that year.
Just because of an extra
point. And now it's the equivalent of now a 33-yard field goal, but you were seeing a lot more missed extra points than you used to. And those missed extra points are come back to haunt teams. And I thought the missed extra point was going to hurt my Niners. It didn't.
I did. I was like, ooh, just because how the flow of the Bears were going. You guys were going, all right, oh, okay. I'm going to save this for after I do what I'm about to do real quick. Yeah, I'm taking.
The thing is, the drop balls, my team who just loves field goals, that should be their motto. The 49ers, we love field goals. They just love settling for three. I mean, I used to call Phil Dawson the real MVP because we were just settling for Uncle Phil making kicks, and the same thing with Robbie Gould. It's like, can we find the end zone? Like, can we find the end zone? And I mean, even during the Harbaugh years, with all those talent peoples, and this is the one thing that frustrated me about Kaepernick, because he would make some damn good plays. He makes some bonnet plays, and we just have to keep selling for field goals. I'm like, okay, I appreciate Phil Dawson making these extra clutch kicks, but dang it, can we get 6 every once in a while and stop selling for 3? Like Steve Young said, settling for field goals is like kissing your sister. But I digress. But hey, they ended a 4-game losing streak. They got to win. I'm happy, and now they might have a chance to get to 500 because Kyler Murray's not healthy.
Yeah.
There is no J.J. Watt.
Nope.
Now you're going to see how the Cardinals are going to respond after they have lost for the first time this year.
Adversity. They got a little bit of adversity right now.
A little bit of adversity. It definitely will not be easy. They definitely could have beat them the first time because it was a 17-10 final score. That was the game that Trey Lance started, to which Isaiah Simmons made the play of the game, stopping him on that 4th and 1.
Yeah.
It was just, it was a very close game. I know some of the people will be like, why is Garoppolo still playing? Let's play Lance. Why are we still trying to chase wins? Here's the reason why, because the Niners, like the Rams, were trying to go for it, which is why they brought a lot of these guys back on one-year deals like Jason Verrett, among others, which unfortunately hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
They're still a half game out of a playoff spot. Ooh. They still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Ooh.
It is a standstill in the National Football Conference. Like you have, well, like I said, okay, not counting the division leaders, which are the Packers, the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Rams. They'll probably be in a dogfight for the division with the Cardinals. We all expect that. We'll see what the Saints do, even though the Saints are 5-2, but the Panthers are 4-4, and the Vikings have the same identical record as us. So we are only a half game behind the Panthers for one of those playoff spots.
Wow. Oh, because that's right, because of that extra
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Because everyone gets to buy. Ooh.
Yeah. So if the season ended today, the Vikings hold on to the last playoff spot. If we're just doing by the 8 teams,
mm-hmm.
Right now the Packers would be the 1 seed by virtue of the tiebreaker over the Cardinals. Cowboys the 3 seed, Bucks the 4 seed, Rams the 5 seed, Saints the 6, the Panthers the 7th, Vikings the 8th, and we're behind the Vikings. So right now, us, the Falcons, and the Vikings are all 3-4.
Ooh.
But because the Vikings have a better conference record, they have a 3-2 conference record. The Niners have a 3-3 conference record. The Vikings currently right now hold the tiebreaker, which you think somewhere down the line, Kirk Cousins is going to be Kirk Cousins and just give the game away.
Blow.
Yeah. So as turmoil as it has been for my beloved 49ers, they still have a chance to get a playoff spot, as bizarre and as crazy as that sounds.
So you're telling me there's a chance? There
is a chance.
I would just say that one thing, the bright spot that I'm about to give to your team was that the one thing that you, Debo, B, pretty much any Niner fan that I know, is that when Kyle Shanahan has the running game working, he decides that he thinks he needs to pass the ball and just totally just, nope, not this week. It was nice. It was nice to actually see a completion of what started it. The running game got you guys to where the passing game got you.
Correct.
It was good to see that you still gave Debo that confidence, because he dropped a few balls. I was like, whoa, normally you catch those, bro. Like, easy. But then to see him still get confidence, and then to take that little bubble screen and on that 3rd down, that was well designed. I liked it. It was nice to see that. That was good football by your team this weekend, bro. That was nice. It was good to see that what you guys been preaching about finally got put for you guys to see. And you, like I said, yeah, I don't like your team. That you already know that, but you already know when good football is put on the football field, you just got to give credit where good football.
You got to tip your cap, or you got to
respect that you finally put something. He finally put it together. That was finally a game plan that he stuck to it, because it seemed like that's his game plan every time you go in there to establish the run, because your offensive line has to build up to the passing. it's just like my team. Our running game leads up to DC starting to really cook, just like how Garoppolo threw that bomb. The screen pass when Debo took it. So kudos to y'all this weekend. That was good display, and then it fed your defense. It gave your defense rest. They saw y'all was cooking out there. They was like, okay, we got to keep up with the offense. We just can't go out here and give up points because they're doing their thing. We did our thing. They put points. Now we got to continue to. Y'all was cooking over the weekend. That was good. That was good football. The Bears played good football too. Ain't gonna take away from them either. Fields was out there throwing some good balls. I think if Herbert didn't get hurt, if he was out there more, the game might have been a little bit different. But
the way it was going in the first half, the Niners were lucky to only be down 13-9.
Yeah.
Because the Bears kept settling for field goals as well. And penalties also played a part. But the Bears easily could have had the game at hand at the half, but didn't. Then the Niners eventually decided to get right and find the end zone because, again, like I kept saying, they had some good drives. For example, the first drive of the game was a very good time-consuming drive. They were moving the ball.
Penalties,
and they had to settle for 3.
Yep.
So, it's there. The potential is there. And also, they also need to give the defense rest because the defense has been out there trying to, keep the game intact. But I think finally, Nick Bosa got some help as Samson Ebukam finally decided to rush the quarterback because, Bosa's going to get double teamed, triple teamed
all day.
That's where you would like to have D4, but of course, D4 can't stay healthy for nothing.
Well, good thing you did that settlement with him.
Yeah, but again, I still wouldn't have given him all that damn money knowing that he can't stay freaking healthy for nothing, but that's another story for another day. But Samson Ebukam had himself a nice game, got himself some sacks, made up for that one bonehead penalty because that was just a bonehead roughing the passer penalty that he did, but he made up for it by getting the sack.
Yeah.
I also think that was a bonehead call by the referee in the Jets-Bengals game because the guy was lowering his helmet. He lowered himself. Yes, I get it. It was helmet to helmet, but he was not leading with his helmet. He was going down, bracing himself to make the tackle, and just so happened that Ty Johnson lowered his head into him.
It's almost like, what did you expect? Both are coming. If one defender is coming, if they're coming in for the contact, you kind of got to put your eyes on that. I think they need to find a way to look at that per se. Bang, bang. Now, if he's leading in with the crown of his head, yes. If the offensive player leads in with the crown of his head, yes. But if they're coming in to get, what am I supposed to do if I'm already in the position this way?
Bracing for contact.
I can't come in and be like, oh, let me decide to move my head. No, the NFL
especially if you're coming full speed.
Yeah, the NFL got to find a way to look at that. If you thought of like college, look at it. But the difference with college is if they throw it, it's still 15. They're looking at it, was it targeting? If it wasn't targeting, you're good. If you led in with it, we'll still give you the 15. Cool, but the NFL doesn't have that two-way thing. Here nor there. But let me give you one thing with Fred Warner had himself a game. And he stopped one touchdown. If he wasn't Johnny on the spot, that's 6 points.
Yeah, that is 6. Fred Warner, I've been a fan of his since day one, as you know.
He's been solid. That's been one solid player
from Brigham Young University. He definitely misses Aziz Al-Shire because he didn't play. He definitely misses Dre Greenlaw, so he is having to cover a lot of ground on this defense. And hopefully when
he has.
Hopefully if Al-Shire comes back and Dre Greenlaw comes back, it'll take a lot of him because I mean he's just been gassed. But I am glad they let the kid Ufanga play from USC. I love
Ooh,
his. I love
he
his.
was a monster
I
Sunday.
love his motor. Um,
Yeah, his name was called a lot on Sunday.
yeah,
He was everywhere.
He definitely should be starting next year.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward needs to go because he can't stay on the doggone field.
So how do you feel about Kinlaw then? Is that what's going on? What's your take on Kinlaw?
If people were expecting Kinlaw to be DeForest Buckner, stop. That's not his game. That's not who he is. He is a run plugger. He is a run stopper. His job is to plug up the middle. Now, hopefully, his knee issues are fixed and he can be what they thought the Niners could be when they drafted him. Again, you know if somebody's a bust. But
it'll take about 3 to around. If you don't have it figured out by your third year, then you just are not, you're not in.
Now, if you're I believe you can't call a man a bust if he's always injured. I mean,
injury prone should be the title.
Like I would not dare call Saquon Barkley a bust. It's just unfortunately his body is not cooperating with him right now. Because when he's on the field, you know what Saquon Barkley can do.
You're damn near getting 5.5 easy.
You see what he can do. Catch the ball in the backfield. Be a runner.
You're getting close to 200 yards of total scrimmage yards with him on the field. Easy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, his body the last 2 years has not.
Well, because the Giants have kind of given him the Marion Barber treatment, if you understand what I mean with that by that.
Yeah, no line.
No, not even no line, but Marion Barber 1 year, 232, close to 250 attempts? Or over that, close to 300 maybe?
Yeah.
You saw what happened to him the next year after? Body was done.
I want to see Kinlaw fully healthy because he showed some flashes last year.
He's not a bad player.
I mean, the game he had against the Rams in Inglewood, I thought was his best game of his rookie year, where he had the pick six, and did some things. Yep. I'm willing to give him another shot, but it is clear they need to address the secondary. I said before the season started, the secondary was the weak link of the team. And that was before Jason, unfortunately, had a season-ending injury and all that. They need to address the secondary. The front seven is fine when they're all healthy. I know what I'm getting when I have Alshire, Warner, and Greenlaw as my linebackers. I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting when I have Bosa, DJ Jones, Armstead still 50-50 with me. We shouldn't have paid him. We should have still paid Buckner. I will forever say that. But Eric Armstead
Buckner game was a statement game, and he came out and said that. Now, most NFL players, when they go home and play their former team, they like it's just another game, blah, blah, blah. No, Buckner was like, oh, yeah, this is personal.
No. DeForest, like the rest of the faithful, were pissed off because you're just like, why? Like he was the best player on the team when we absolutely sucked.
Why get rid of that?
Well, he was your bright spot on that sorry ass team with Chip Kelly that went 2-14. He was the bright spot in 2017, 2018 when you were struggling and trying to find a quarterback until Garoppolo came the last on Halloween in 2017. He was your two best defensive players along with Bosa because you couldn't stop 97 or 99 the year we went to Super Bowl 54. It's just like, I know the cap member this, the cap member that. You couldn't find somebody's contract to reconstruct to pay DeForest Buckner, really? Like
they could have.
Really?
They could have.
But instead, no, let's just let's just trade him like we did Charles Haley and just give him to the Colts like they gave Charles Haley to the Cowboys. And oh, by the way, that just gave Charles Haley 3 more rings and helped the Cowboys dynasty in the 90s, which, oh, by the way, beat us twice in back-to-back years in the NFC Challenge game. Thanks, Eddie DeBartolo, for giving away Charles Haley.
Well, on our few shows ago, we already know how you feel about Eddie DeBartolo. So,
no, again, I love Eddie. Love him. God bless him. But there's just 2 decisions I wish you would take back. Mainly the Riverboat license scandal, so you can still own the damn team. And just maybe we would still be playing in San Francisco and not right smack dab in the middle of an amusement park in Santa Clara. Instead, Jeans Stadium can be at Candlestick Point, where it should be. But no, let's just put it right smack dab in the middle of a parking lot in Greater America, where it's even more horrible to get out of trying to get back on the doggone freeway.
Show us your passion, brother. Show us your passion.
I would have rather dealt with the messed up parking concrete of Candlestick rather than trying to get out of the crap that is Levi Stadium. But I digress.
Small parking lot.
Yeah, it's a very small parking lot. Like it is horrible to get out of.
Indeed.
Like unless you park in the actual stadium side, the other parking, you literally take the shuttle to get into the parking, or you take the train and the train leads you right there by the stand. Like it's where they built it just is in a horrible location. My goodness.
Oh, well, I've seen it. I've never been inside, but I've seen it because I had a job like across the street from it doing the windows. But
well, I'm pretty sure you gave her the bird a few times. I'm sure.
Well, I think I sent you a picture with the bird in it.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah,
bright and early.
There it is.
But now, turning the focus back to your team. Now you're coming off the bye week.
Okay.
You've had a week to reset.
Yes.
Get the body right.
Yes.
And now, like I said, I know you were watching more as a scout, mainly on the Giants. What do you feel will be the keys to being the Giants and making sure that you take care of business on this early East Coast trip as you get back into the swing of things to go on this stretch run of the season?
Well, first of all, stay away from Williams. He's
Leonard Williams is a problem. Yes, he is.
He's a problem down there. Just honestly, I don't want to make it seem like too simple or like too cocky, but keep Derek. Anybody would say that, keep Derek clean, keep him upright. Really establish the running game, because I believe our offensive line running, we're fine. Continue to feed Kenyon Drake. Let that confidence continue to build. Because the past 2 weeks before the bye, he was cooking. The Denver game, he was on fire. Eagles game, he kept up that confidence from that Bronco game and took it into the Eagle game. So, and just let Derek manage the game. And the defense, Daniel Jones could be a problem because he can use his legs.
He can. Yes, he can.
So, I mean, we took care of Hurts pretty kind of well, but Daniel Jones is pretty decent. We need to get to him early. Max and Yannick gotta still get to the quarterback, and just don't give him the confidence, because the Giants have played teams pretty tough. So just continue to play together football. That's it. Find Henry Ruggs. But we do get Waller back, so that changes the offense just a little bit more. Where the focus is going to be a little bit more. But if it ain't there for Waller,
just not only that, you get 83 back, and also you get 28 back. So that's even more weapons and just even more opportunity for the whole offense to eat per se.
And also continue to run the screen game. That's a lost art in football. You rarely see it. I know they run the wide receiver screen and the tight end screen, and they try to find other ways to use a screen, but the halfback screen is still a nice play if it's ran right. I have not yet.
Yes, it is.
It's barely stopped if it's ran correctly. And if you really call it in the right situation, I mean, I don't think anybody will ever, because I don't play Madden that much, but I tell you what, on first down, I run a screenplay because 9 times out of 10, when you play Madden or you play anybody, their first play is going to be a running play. And the person that's playing you with defense, because on my play, if I'm playing defense, I'm guarding the run. With a little bit help on the passing aspect, I'll give up the intermediate early, not the big play. So I attack, run, but leave a little space with the defense. So just continue to run the screen game. You see when it's ran with Josh Jacobs, it's run nice, and he gets yak.
Yards after catch.
So just stay the course. Don't, if it ain't broke, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to fix it. Just let, like Oli call it. I watched the press conference, and Oli said something that kind of made sense. And after I watched the press conference, I heard I watched whatever Raiders show. I can't remember the name of it at the time. I think the Silver and Black show or the post game. And they commented on what the coach said. John Gruden playbook is this freaking big. We already know this. It's like right here.
Encyclopedia, if you want to debate.
Okay. So what Oli said, and what most of the players said as well, is that playbook just became, not saying that this wasn't a problem. I mean, of course, all these plays, at any moment I can call this play. But just imagine if you just bring this down and you have
the plays that you like are the plays that work effectively the most.
Well, here I'm gonna say, well, I know this for sure. Gruden ran plays not for his players. Gruden ran plays that he thought would work, which is the old school way. The plays are being called now. It is fitting to the player's ability and somewhat what they like. Yes, old school way, if I call it, you run it. I don't give a day. I drafted you to do this. This is what you do. But now, the way the NFL is shaping, you have to know what you're drafting your player and what his biggest strength is.
You have to know what his skill set is and make plays to fit his skill set.
Not okay. Yes, you can draft this player if he played. See, the offensive line is a little bit different. If you draft a player on the line that's maybe a right tackle and you want to move him to left tackle, he has to have played that in college or been there long enough to understand, if you're moving him there, that he can grasp in the NFL and practice that and get accustomed to it. As we see with Alex Leatherwood. Alex Leatherwood really ain't played right tackle. So we move him inside the right guard, and now not everything's not right, but the past 2 weeks, things have been working because...
Well, it's always been an easier transition to go from tackle to guard.
Yes.
And it's always been an easier transition to go from center to guard or guard to center.
Yes.
For example, Randy Cross started off as a guard, retired as a center.
There it is.
Jesse Sapola, who I don't know why he's not in the damn Hall of Fame.
Preach.
Was an all-pro at guard and was an all-pro at center. And then when they signed Bart Oates, he went back to guard.
Yeah. And
then went back to center. So it can be done. Because you can shift linemen all the time. That's the one thing that you can shift, because if they want to play, they'll learn to adjust. But in the case of Alex Leatherwood, he has seemed to adapt playing to right guard real well. And Simpson, despite that he had a couple of cramps against the Eagles, played very well at a right tackle. And I know a lot of people were very hard on Colt Miller, and people were like, what the heck, Colt Miller? But Colt Miller has proved the test of time.
No. You don't, or whoever's on that side, you don't hear that person's name on the defense in the side of the ball.
Well, they always say if you don't hear the offensive lineman's name, that means he's doing his job.
Exactly.
Now, if Richie Incognito decides to come back and play and you plug him back at left guard, then you might have a problem trying to stop this offensive line.
I forgot they got somebody on their practice squad that we signed. A good tackle. It'll come to me later after I know I won't be able to think of it right now in the time frame. But stick with what we got going there. Kudos to Tom Cable, because whatever he's preaching, that you, as I was saying earlier, you see that they're starting to get what these coaches are starting to preach to them. It's understanding, just like bringing in Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley sets his scheme to fit his players.
In the last couple of weeks, Mr. Ngakwe has been eating and feasting.
So I just want to see them get to Daniel Jones. Don't give him a chance in hell to get rid of nothing. I mean, take advantage, because there still won't be no Saquon Barkley. And a big defensive loss on their side is losing Jabril Peppers, because that man is
beast.
Yes. And he was a two-way player at Michigan. So let's understand that. So
now it's funny. Now it's funny you mentioned the Derek Carr 500-yard game. 2 days ago, it was 5 years ago, where he threw for 513 against the Buccaneers in an overtime win. It's funny you mentioned that. And I believe that was the Seth Roberts walk-off touchdown to beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah. On that quick slant that he slid through.
Yes.
But I believe Donald Penn caught a touchdown in that game too, because
he did.
Yep.
Yes.
I think Latavius Murray had a decent game as well. But DC was just slinging the ball all over the field that game. I mean, it was a Fresno State type feeling for him. He was just out there going to work. And also what I like is Derek is not in the gun as much as he was under Gruden. You're not getting
he's under center more, yes.
Center a lot more. So you're getting a little more play action. You're getting a little more action with the I formation. So two tight end set, bunch formations. So, and I do believe the Giants run a good zone, a lot of zone coverage. It's not too much. I mean, they blitz a lot, and Derek is spectacular on the blitz. I mean, you'll get to him because you get to any quarterback, but when you attack him, he gets the ball out pretty quick. So I see a big game from Brian Edwards. I see a huge game from him. We'll probably try to mix in Waller, and I mean, it's good that we're coming off fresh. So I'm interested. East Coast game, 10 o'clock in the morning. We ain't had one of those in a while, so that's good to get us out the way.
For coming home to a huge Sunday night audience against the Chiefs,
now,
which I'm sure
the stadium's will be great for. We might have to do a pre and the post game show for that one, because that's gonna be huge, man. I just coming off to see how we gonna play against the Giants. Who do you guys got this weekend?
We have the Cardinals. We have the Cardinals at Jeans Stadium. Again, we lost 17-10. That was the Trey Lance start. We'll see if they can keep up the momentum, and we'll see what kind of adversity the Cardinals will come out with after facing their first test of adversity of the season. I mean, it is a winnable game because, like I said, there is a possible chance that Kyler Murray might not play.
Well, what's your percentage you see him not playing? I haven't heard too much about it. What is it? Is it
I
the
I
downside?
don't
Play?
me personally, I don't think it's too serious. I think he will play. How effective he'll be, that's another story that remains to be seen. Um, but very quickly before we end the show, here was the rundown of tonight's NBA action. The Pacers beat the Spurs 131 to 118. The Cavaliers get by the Hornets. They squeak by 113 to 110, although LaMelo Ball almost messed around and got a triple double, along with
He's a breath of fresh air for that franchise.
him and Miles Bridges have been playing tremendously together.
Yes.
The Raptors beat the Knicks by 9, 113 to 104. Hawks beat the Wizards 118 to 111. Grizzlies over the Nuggets 106-97. Orlando beats Minnesota 115-97. The Clippers come back to beat the Thunder 99-94. And I did not know that your 76ers were short-handed tonight in beating the Blazers.
Tobias Harris, I told you.
113 to 103. And I had totally forgot Andre Drummond was on the doggone team.
Have yourself a game. He was out there playing good basketball.
Yes, he did.
You know what? He's a more what we had with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was decent, but see, he's not getting those fouls like Dwight Howard is. He's more productive, and he can shoot a free throw. So, yes. Yeah, that was awesome. That we
he almost messed around.
That was a big pickup. I'll take that. What he had
14 points.
8 points.
14 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists.
Big man.
Big man.
That's Embiid too. That's almost Embiid too coming off the bench. Not saying he's Embiid. Don't get me wrong, because he can't shoot the three like Embiid.
No,
but he gets.
But he doesn't.
Like
he doesn't try. He does not try. Andre Drummond knows what his game is, and he sticks to that, and thus he's being effective as the Sixers put their record to 5-2 of the season. But perhaps the story of the night in the NBA was the Chicago Bulls. The 6-1 Chicago Bulls.
Shout out to Steve Dugan.
Steve Dugan, friend of the program and a big-time Bulls fan.
Yes.
DeMar DeRozan scored 37.
Ooh.
Have yourself a game, Mr. Rosen.
Ooh.
As the Celtics were up 28.
Yes.
28 points. And the Bulls outscored the Celtics 39-11 in the fourth quarter to end up winning the game by 14.
You can't score 11 points in the quarter. You just cannot score 11 points in the quarter.
Cannot. DeRozan led the way with 37 for the Bulls. Levine had 6. Lonzo Ball had 12, 6, and 4. Vucevic had 11, 10, and 9. He almost got a triple-double. A lot of almost triple-doubles in the association tonight.
A lot of good basketball being played today.
Yeah. But, I mean, they just play well. And they're still missing some players.
Yeah.
They're still missing Kobe White, who you know is a force, and you know he's gonna.
Where did he go?
He's injured.
No. What college did he go to?
Oh, Mr. Jones? Kobe White? Oh, well, he would be a former Tar Heel, North Carolina.
Yes.
First round draft pick a couple of years ago.
Yes. Big Tar Heel fan.
Yes, indeed. But I mean, we knew that Chicago would be improved.
Oh, of course.
But I don't think many thought they would get off to this start, which they are 6-1 to start the year. I totally forgot Billy Donovan is the head coach of the Bulls, to which I thought that was BS how they did him in OKC. But he is bouncing back just fine coaching the Bulls, and the Bulls are off to
his second season with them being the coach, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. My brother.
Thank you. So as it stands, the Knicks and Sixers, I mean, not that divisions count in the NBA, but in the Atlantic Division, the Sixers and the Knicks are both tied with 5-2 records, with the Raptors at
the Knicks got the tiebreaker on that one because they beat us less than a week ago. So,
and the Knicks are definitely picking up from where they left off last year. We definitely thought that the Knicks basketball would get better under Tom Thibodeau, and they're picking up from where they left off. Of course, the Bulls are 6-1. The Cavaliers at 500 at 4-4. The Bucks 3-4.
It's early in the season. Wow.
Yeah. Quietly, the Miami Heat are 5-1, and the Washington Wizards quietly off to a 5-2 start. Good for them.
I agree.
Jazz are 5-1, Warriors are 5-1, so those two have the two best records in the Western Conference. And the Warriors will get back at it tomorrow as they will host. I believe it will be. Yes, it will be the Hornets on Wednesday.
Ooh. And brother, those the city edition jerseys.
Yeah, those.
I don't buy jerseys off basketball jerseys often because like the only one I have was the Latrell Sprewell and Allen Iverson's rookie jersey. Yeah. Oh, and I had a Jordan jersey, but I blessed that to someone. But there's two jerseys I might want. The last year's edition for the Sixers and this year's edition for the Warriors. Those are some nice looking jerseys. And before we end the show, we do have boxing this weekend, a big fight.
It is a big boxing weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so we might have to tap in maybe Friday or maybe try to do it Thursday. What's today? Monday. So no too much going on sports-wise. I guess we can tap in a little bit of basketball and Thursday night football, I guess.
Yeah.
And cap the
which the Thursday night game is the Jets and Colts. Of course, when those two get together, we instantly think of Super Bowl III. But the Colts coming in struggling with a heartbreaker loss to the Titans, and the Jets coming off of a win over the Bengals. So we'll see if Mike White can continue his magic and if Carson Wentz can bounce back. Always entertaining when it's the Jets and the Colts, but yes, the super middleweight division will be unified. One man will leave with 4 belts on Saturday night from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada.
To be huge.
I mean, not to go full throttle into the fight, but me and him both think that Cinnamon will win. But
so I got Saul winning that fight too.
But
I can't pick a round, but I just believe whatever the ending effect I believe will be Saul walking out with all 4 belts.
But again, Caleb Plant is a damn good fighter, and he's going to give you everything he's got.
Not get taken away from his talent, and not taken away from he done, because his last fight he went out and got it. This is the reason why we have this fight right now. It's because of what he did in his last fight. So
he will give you everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I won't find it completely shocking if somehow he pulls off the upset. But
because any boxer's chance. All
yeah.
it takes is one punch.
Yeah.
Easy can.
I just don't see it. I see Canelo walking out with all 4 belts, but it should be a very good fight. And the trash talking that's been going on between these two. Oh boy.
At the press conference.
Yes. But somebody, I don't know if it was Anthony or if it was Ruff in our boxing chat that we have, but he did say that he wants to see Canelo become the villain that Floyd was. He says, I think that's one boy that's left.
Well, I don't think Canelo has that in him because it's shocking to see Canelo doing all this trash talking, because that's just the thing that he does. But I believe Caleb was kind of mouthing off a little bit. So it's nice to see Canelo do this because it's good for boxing, because us boxing fans, we love the jibber jabber thing because it's just
we love the back and forth.
Conference was beautiful because it's like, ooh. Now, back in the day, some of these press conferences were staged, give the fans what they want. But this press conference right here was very, very, it was almost like when Ghost fought Mayweather, where the uncle and the dad was going at it, that hatred and that setup.
I'll say it like this. Anything that involved Mike Tyson was not staged, because Tyson really wanted to bite your head off.
I can't say what I want to say, what he said in one press conference, but I'll just say, he just said, I will bleep you in front of everybody. And
I'm gonna make you love me.
Yeah. And you ain't a man. You ain't a man to do what I can do. I do it bleeping right here in front of everybody.
And Mike
Tyson was a different man.
And again, he said, I'm gonna do you till you love me. And he meant every word of that too. Yeah.
I can really go into what he really said, but then I cannot make this show for my babies and the kiddies to watch. That will be for the boxing show where we can just sit here and just put that on and let loose. But yeah, what another wonderful show to do in the evening time, man. That was great. That was awesome.
Well, to our subscribers that do subscribe to the show, we humbly thank you. We appreciate you. And please share it with your friends. As like I said, you asked for more shows, you asked to be entertained. And by God, we're going to entertain you to the best of our God-given ability. But we thank you, as always, for watching. We thank you for subscribing. Please share with your friends and have them share with their friends. Like I said, we always appreciate energy. And of course, if you have subjects that you want us to talk about,
put it in the comments.
Feel free to let us know, and we'll talk about it.
Put it in the comments. We take suggestions. We take recommendations. And like I said, once we get back in rotation, the guests will come. Like I said, we're trying to set up a segment to where we're just going to talk about boxing, strictly boxing. There will be no other talking about basketball, football. It's just going to be on the sweet science of boxing. So if you're not entertained to boxing, sorry if we bore you, but we're going to talk about everything in here. And did the Sharks play tonight?
No, they play tomorrow. They play
the Sabres. That's going to be on ESPN, correct?
Yeah, ESPN Plus. They play the Sabres at the Shark Tank as they look to get back to their winning ways.
See, it's just not boxing. Shoot, when tennis get back up again, we'll be talking about tennis, golf, all that. But thank you for taking your time out, spend your day with us, and to listen to us ramble about sports and other kind of topics. Hope you enjoyed, and see you on the other side. Good night.
Remember, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. Take a shot.
Oh, well, that's going to be the ending before I go to bed.
Till the next time, folks, this has been another edition of the Mizzle and Dub Show. He's Mizzle. I'm Dub. Good night. Be safe. God bless. And hug your children.
Always. Peace, brother.
Later.